first of all, I would like to start to welcome you to the information session. My name is Anna Fournier. I'm Principal Data Scientist at the Swiss Data Science Center. I'm also a co-organizer of this course called Enabling Innovation of Data Science. On the ETH Zurich side, we also have another edition in Lausanne in EPFL. And I hope that for all of you, as I mentioned, this session will be recorded and that would be acceptable. So maybe to start, why do we started this course and what's our role from the let's say high level? We in 2017, the ETH board has created a joint venture between ETH Zurich and EPFL with a mission to help of the adoption of data science and AI in Switzerland. And later on, the Polshar Institute has joined also its offices, and we have also teams there. And we have grown to now 110 plus employees. We are mostly working on applied research. We have innovation topics that we work with the industry partners, as well as contributing to the various educational programs. And to make it more visual about the journey, starting with the academic team in 2017, later on the engineering team building the open source software called Renku have joined. The team I'm from, innovation, we have started in 2019 with the role of working with external organizations and industries. And later on, the PSI office joined and followed by the creation also all of Ordes team that are responsible for best practices, data verification, and open research. And last year, we had a new team on biomedical domain created. And that was, let's say, when we onboarded on this big role of becoming a national research infrastructure. That's why this year is still, very interesting for us, because we are shaping a lot of things, and it's very exciting to be on this journey. During this all time and also still upcoming, we have multiple collaborations that we have done with various organizations. We have been working with manufacturing industry. We have been, a lot of my projects are actually in health and biotech and pharma domain as well. We have energy clients and finance, of course, and all of this basically learning about what type of the use cases these organizations need help with, what do the type of projects they are looking at, also co-developing with them best practices, putting into, test and then refining. This is where we gathered a lot of knowledge that we thought that it's not only interesting just to do for one company, but we actually can share all of these lessons learned, also all of this really applied part of the data science that multiple organizations are already implementing, and that we can then help to onboard onto this topic. But besides this, maybe just to say that there are various ways of how we have been working so far, right? Starting with the delivery, so our data scientists are collaborating, being part of the organizations and working on the use cases and putting in place metrics to see how the machine learning models are actually performing, translating it and trying to estimate as well what is the business impact, because machine learning is fun, but it has to still yield the results and have to show the promise to move further on this journey. We have been building more than, right now I would say we have 50 or 60 use cases in total that we have learned, delivered and learned from. The other part on the most right side is the transfer. That's where we notice that organizations maybe in some starting state where they are still developing their teams, they would like to have the talent transfer and to grow their team. And so that's also where we play a role. But the major part from all of these collaborations is how can we bring this knowledge basically to other companies, to other businesses, and to give a faster start into data science with hopefully less of the errors. So we started to work on this course and have developed it in collaboration with Formation Continue UNIL at APFL. We have had already 3 editions. All of them have been fully booked out. So it's really nice to see that there is a demand. And I'm going to tell to you about the edition that we will have for this autumn in 5 Fridays. We will have 3 consecutive ones in September. Then there will be the break due to the holiday season in Switzerland. And then we will restart in October, end of October. The course will take place in Oerlikon in Andreas Thurm, also called the Swiss AI Tower. So it will be quite prominent location with nice view. But I think the most important is the opportunity to also have this network and to discuss with other people who are also, managing the teams, managing the data science projects, and also to exchange, what the challenges that they are facing, and as well to exchange. And we've seen from already, from our alumni set up of collaborations sometimes, or just, having a community and learning from each other as well, how the data science is done in their company. Let's start. Why do we even decided to do it? Okay, we had the knowledge, but the picture that we see quite often is, let me walk you through this cartoon. So there is a manager sitting and saying, your job is to do the digital transformation. It's really about being disruptive. We need absolutely new way of thinking across all the organization, and that's top priority. So this is really great that if you can accomplish that in this internship that you are joining us for. Unfortunately, it's somehow difficult, right, to get the data science journey on the map, especially prioritizing the use cases, especially to see the value and to be able to communicate if there is yielding of the results. And I have been looking into also both looking for positive and maybe not so positive examples of when does AI meet expectations? And according to the latest BCG survey, there is still a gap in terms of what data science methods and use cases would yield versus the expectation that what it should bring. The reasons for that is, number one, the senior expertise to actually be able to have this bridging of the gap between the technical question of how to approach and then to map it to the business need. This is really a useful skill that's hard to acquire. Then sometimes there is just misunderstanding about what data science would bring. And then the technical team who is developing might not be able to develop the solution, or maybe just will not revolutionize the business in what it was expected. And so last thing that's maybe also my personal is, while there is a lot of noise about all the AI methodologies, you definitely have tried some of them, but hear even more about possibilities. We prefer to go into this so-called demystification part, because every time the method is shown to you, it's really still important to understand what are the inner workings of that. So my team, when we are delivering the course, we really try to break down in simple words and also try to show the feeling and the understanding when the algorithms actually make sense to be applied, what will be the disadvantages, and also what is the use for the methods. So I already started to tell you a bit about the course, and we have designed it in such a way that people who do not have data science, maybe in-depth background or computer science, but currently managing projects that have data component, managing teams that have to deal with data, having to maybe steer the organization into how shall we use the best available methods, and to be able to really understand what's just happening, maybe not to code yourself, but just to really be comfortable with technical discussion, that's where the target audience would fit perfect to this course. We do not expect your knowledge of coding, and we will I will show later in my slide that some of the hands-on that we will have, actually you will do with drag and drop software, and you can really play with it and play with the methods that you will hear in theoretical sessions, sorry. But the interest where we found from multiple editions, we have been collecting the feedback, we have been tailoring it to the requirements, and we will develop the strategical skills. So we want to show you best practices, we want to show you the tools for the management, we want to walk you through the use case definition, prioritization, and up to delivery, like how this whole journey would look like, so that you would feel comfortable to do it right after the course or even during the course, which is even greater. We will give you the technical understanding. Of course, we cannot teach you absolutely in depth and I'm not sure if you would be interested in the mathematical foundations and maybe a proof of proving some of the concepts, but we are happy to refer you to those materials. But the main goal is to give you a feeling how the method is working. What is it applied for? What are its limitations, and actually what is going on inside of this algorithm when you are giving it data. We will have a lot of use cases that actually we will be inviting external partners that from the organizations that I just showed, who have been on this journey, so that they can present what do they do, what was their lessons learned. So it will be first-hand discussions, and they will be part of this experience. We will also present more use cases from our side, what we have been doing over these years. And the last but not least, why we keep this group not a massive amount, also just because we want to have this opportunity to discuss, to connect, to network with people, and to be able to learn from each other's experience and your maybe cross-domain interests. The program you can see on the website, but maybe I just would like to highlight what I previously said about the skills that you would be expected to learn. You can see the green parts. This will be the practical questions about the data science. They will be really down to the earth, how to use some of the concepts. We will have in blue sessions the theoretical breaking down demystification sessions on the mechanisms of all these topics. We will have hands-on sessions as well, because we think that it's important for you to also try out not only to hear, but also to touch these methods and to play with parameters and to understand also what it yields. And in yellow, you can see the use cases. There will be multiple sessions every day enriched with those applied materials. I see that we are running out of time, but I have 3 more slides left, and I just want to walk you through like day 3, for example. You will come, and in the morning we will be talking about unsupervised learning techniques, how to analyze the time series. We will also give you a use case to work in the afternoon for the segmentation of different data points as well that can be then applicable to segmentation of clients or segmentations of products, you know, you name it. It just, we need to give you the basis to work with these techniques. Then in the afternoon, we will have a legal and ethical application of AI, as well how to measure the impact, A/B testing, and how to get explainability, because when we now in the time when the AI the regulatory bodies are also requiring certain knowledge about how the methods work, right? We need to show interpretability of how the decision this model has been able to reach, what was the features in the data that contributed to that decision. Use cases from the partners and practical applied data science, like as a showcase. And in the afternoon, we will ask you, for example, in canvassing exercise, to bring your own use case that you have currently, and also to apply the scoping to try to map it fully in terms of objectives, risks, metrics, data, what will be the people involved. So it's really interesting exercise because it can help you really to get a feeling how to proceed with this use case and what would be its priority. As a glimpse into what the hands-on session would look like, this is the kind of what I said to you. We would like to show you the pipeline of steps of when the data will start and what you will have in the end after you applied modeling. Of course, in between there is some data preparation, exploratory data analysis. Then we would like you to use the methods that we have presented in the theoretical sessions until you would be looking into the predictions. And with that, I am opening now the question round. If you have questions, feel free to unmute or write it in the chat.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have one question. How much exercise or work is expected to be done in between the course days?
Because usually the people are quite busy in their daily jobs, we decided not to have any homework assignment. We will do ask you to think about your project, like from your own work or what you would like our feedback and also help to prototype to be given. But everything will be done in class, and only if you are interested to deep dive in a certain topic by yourself, we will give materials for the further, learning and reading and watching, but nothing is expected outside of those 5 days.
Okay, thank you. And another question, is there a certificate at the end of the course? There would be a certificate? Or?
Absolutely. So with ETH Zurich, the School of Continuing Education, there will be official ETH certificate for the 5-day course, explaining what was the program and what is the number of hours of those 5 days translate, and if you will need it to translate into ET credits, basically learning. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I'm now. Yeah. But yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, Jana. Ferit?
Hello, Anna. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just want to understand, is it the course is in the direction to handle as a project management and to handle a good project management, and in order to be successful in project management, we understand better how the data science is handled, or it is more to more understand the pro and cons of data science working with that, and we can more understand in which aspects or in which direction we are going with this course.
Thank you for the question. Actually, both. And here is maybe where I would like to show you the program. In the fundamentals and also in the theoretical session, we are definitely going to do the technical onboarding about which method will be used for what when it's not actually applicable, and maybe how, and also absolutely how it works. But in the all other sessions, so from how do you see your organization using it, how would you use the tools to implement, to deploy the models, to also what will be the whole journey in this data science project. These are the project management fundamentals, I would say. So if you are dealing with data, if you are working with data scientists or dealing with data related projects, you need to know the grasp of also how to scope and how to decide on which use case, and also to maybe correct if there is something going wrong. So you need to track how it's going on. We will tell you about a lot on how to make sure that the project that you decided to go on to will be successfully implemented, deployed, maintained, and then maybe even retrained because the data is changing, and etc. So does that answer your question?
I have a second question, if I can. Yeah.
Please.
Do you have any statistical? Do you have to? Oh, do you hear me? Oh, do you have some statistical aspect in this during these 5 days, or is not necessary? Perhaps we are going too much in details. Are we going on the statistical level with the data science?
So every method. Yeah. I heard. Thank you for repeating because the connection was indeed interrupting. But I heard the
okay,
question.
I was not sure.
The question is if there is part of statistics, maybe mathematics, that we will be showing when we will be introducing these methods. And the answer is yes. For example, I'm teaching the unsupervised learning, and we will be doing the dimensionality reduction techniques there. And for dimensionality reduction, we need to know how we will be compressing the space and what is the statistical approach to do it, because you don't need to go to UMAP or a more advanced, sophisticated machine learning method. If you can already check with the principal component analysis for the linear, if there are linear relationship between data points, and we will give you, the explanation how this method actually that comes from statistics can be the first point to check before you put or go into more advanced parts. So I personally think that no deep learning or even LLM part can be understood unless you have had a coverage of at least the basics where the statistics methods actually can work as good sometimes, or maybe even better because they are more robust. So we will show you all of this part, of course.
And that I hear there are some acoustical disruptions. Maybe everybody goes on mute if they don't have a question to ask. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Farid, for the question. Any other questions? For example, when to register, how many people, and etc., because that's usually the questions we get in these sessions. But we just opened the course, so we still have spaces, and they usually the room is full, and that's why we also opt and do these iterations of the courses, just because we always see that there is a really nice network being built, and people are happy, and they motivate us back to give it. So.
Hi, Anna, I have a question.
Yes.
How about the registration date and and the cost and the participant? This was like actually, of course, for information, but I also have like another question, more fundamental on the. So I have a scientific background, so then I kind of have also technical knowledge, but with the age that is increasing linearly every year. I'm focusing mostly on the business also. So then I'm connecting mostly with the institutional banks and private banks. And sometimes I'm also like interested into like, solving a business problem. And of course, I have no time to deep dive into sometimes the technology. So then I use something like that is like, for instance, now I'm working with agentic AI and I'm using libraries that they give me like the opportunity to focus more on the business and on the client instead of going deep into long chain, and from scratch building. So is there a possibility like to connect and network also in this respect, like discussing the business problem? And because I'm mostly interested also like the thing you were discussing at the beginning, right? I'm now focusing on the middle, right? Like the person that is discussing mostly with the business, but also with the technical part, right? So
Yes.
you were discussing about also actually the lack of this kind of person. I think is quite a key point, because generally sometimes, I perfectly know engineering and my background is in physics, but I know also colleagues that they are working in this. And sometimes they are very deep and sometimes they get lost from the business problem, right? And they start, so there is always like a big gap in between, right? And I'm actually focusing on this. But in order to have this, you need a network, kind of. You need more like a building people around this, right? And sitting and discussing together the problems. So is this only technical, the course, or it also gives you like an opportunity for networking and discussing the business, just to make it short?
Yeah, thank you very much for question. It's great to hear that you see absolutely same this need for bridging the two of the worlds, because coming with use cases from bottom up not always will lead to some quantifiable business transformation. I don't like so the answer to your question, typically, and people who are in the course, their role is the chief data officer, the CEO, the management on different, even the strategy, because with AI topics, you need to maybe sometimes think on what is there among this noise that actually would be relevant for us. We will have also people with them in the audience. I mean, I don't know for this coming up session, but edition, but that's what I see from previous ones. People who are leading teams of data scientists, and what they need is to understand what the data scientists now coming up by saying, oh, my method doesn't converge, or my random forest, I'm not sure why it does not work. Of course, you cannot be the data scientist to give a full technical guidance, but at least you understand about the methods that this person have came to you with the question, and you're like, maybe try something simpler or more strong or like more advanced method, because you will be exposed to all of these ranges from simple models going to more advanced ones. And so just to say that that's also similar to what you explained to my role, because I am leading the data scientists who are working with external organizations, and we have to basically, we have the capacity and knowledge of how the models work, but we need to put them into the right place. And sometimes maybe the machine learning is not the answer. And this is also useful to know when not to go there. So this is why we will have the multiple session on the use cases. So what we will be showing when the different actually types of the problems, how they are solved in industry, in the other domains, and this can be serving as inspiration not only to network within the participant group, but with external partners who will be coming and discussing that. Yeah. For the quick question you ask, the deadline for registration is, I believe, 5th of September, but we might, if we recruit people earlier, we will also have to close it earlier, just because of the limit spaces. But and the course fee is 4,000, and it has discount if you are ETH alumni or partner or SDSC partner as well. I can, can confirm that also if you would like to be considering. What other points that I did not address?
Yeah, thank you very much. It was very helpful. Like I was just also asking about the fact that we can network also, because I found it interesting, like talking, I recently had like an event sharing the problems in the business in different sectors, and you understand a bit better, sometimes the business problem, because maybe you are focused too much in the technicalities and sometimes you forget the problem in the business. And do you organize also in this kind of setup some network event also that people also from outside can participate to share ideas like more frequently also, like not necessarily.
We do have this request also from already ENID alumni, because they, would like to be meeting more and more people, and because it's on the same level of, let's say, problems and challenges that they are solving, that they like to exchange. So we are thinking about making it for just executives. This is not in place yet. More of the events, it would be more on the data science advancements, or maybe some use cases where we create, like in this summer, there will be AI festival with the SDSC Connect as one of the events. So there will be, I mean, Switzerland is really good for these topics, but you need to be sure that people that they are attending, you actually would be, good for your network. And it's, I cannot right now say, let's say, where I would feel not too many sales representatives that I have met. So yeah, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but I mean, sometimes it's interesting, like as you were mentioning before, like having like the middle point, who understand the technicalities, maybe because he has also a scientific background, but at the same time, he's focusing more on the business, like try to translate the business problem into something that it can be expressed through a model, or like a new technique based on ML or AI, LLM or something like that. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Bring your use cases. Think of what you are thinking to implement, and we will be doing these canvassing exercises. And some people sometimes don't have use case, so they will join the effort to draft something together. But mostly this will be done. You can present your own initiative, and the whole audience, as well as the data scientists from SDSC, we will be giving the feedback about what can maybe add, what maybe risks we see, because we have already faced them. Maybe someone will suggest some external data sources that might even bring more potential. So yeah, I think this has to be also practical use for you. And if you have a challenge in mind, I really, really would be happy.
Good.
Thank you for the discussion.
Thank you.
I think we are out of time. We are 5 minutes late. So if you have any last question, I'm going to wait for you to reply now. Great. So everyone have is happy with the content. I'm glad that I had this opportunity to discuss with you. I wish you a nice afternoon. And yes, I hope that data science use cases that you will be working on will be really applied and will yield the business results that you are expecting. So yeah, if there is something we can help with at SDSC, let us know. But it was a pleasure. And yes, have a nice afternoon.